Welcome to Global Studies and Geography Review by Mr. DePalma. With this, you should have notes, note cards, review books, anything that you need in order to help you keep an accurate record of what we're going through. We won't have a ton of notes in here today, but we'll be looking at just some of the big overall themes. All right, so for today, we're going to be looking at the Paleolithic and the Neolithic world, or the Old Stone Age and the New Stone Age. So our Paleolithic world was from around 2 million years ago, and our Neolithic world was from about 10,000 BC. And we're going to look at the advantages and the disadvantages of both. So our advantages of the Paleolithic world, well, you got to move around a lot. You were hunters and gatherers. You moved from place to place to place to place to place, following herds. So you did get to see the land, I guess, if that is an advantage. It's kind of a joke. There are no real advantages to being in the Paleolithic world. It was described once they had short, brutal lives. So keep that in mind. The advantages of the Neolithic world, of course, were you got to settle in one place, you had more natural resources, you began to domesticate animals, you had a more abundant food source, you also had greater population growth. So our disadvantage for the Paleolithic world, probably everything. You had a lot of warfare with other people groups, you were constantly hungry, you had to migrate with animals and herds. Tough life, very tough life. Our disadvantage for the Neolithic world, I guess if I had to say one, will be social classes that emerge later, that you'd have people that are at the bottom, and you have certain things when civilizations start to be set up. Those become a disadvantage for people, and we deal with those things throughout history, as we will see, the idea of social classes. And so next, let's talk a little technology. So what did people have? In the Paleolithic world, they had what they could find. Tools made of bone, wood, stone, obsidian knives. Basically things that they found living off the land, and they made good use of it, so very, very innovative. In the Neolithic world, same idea, but you settling in one area, you found metals eventually, and that's when we're getting into Egypt and later on Bronze Age civilizations, things like bronze and copper, harder metals to utilize technology better, but based off of the original things that were found in the Paleolithic world came to be used. One other thing to come out of the Neolithic Revolution, as we will see, was the domestication of animals. It had a twofold effect, and we'll look at that next. So the Neolithic Revolution, what is this? This was when environmental changes brought new climate patterns and contributed to the end of the Old Stone Age, or the Paleolithic world. Warmer weather allows for plants to grow where they previously had been sheets of ice, so now people can settle into one area. So again, this is around 10,000 BC. People made these two important discoveries. They learned how to plant seeds to grow food, and they learned to domesticate animals. Two important things. The Neolithic Revolution brought about the domestication of animals and the growing of plants. Both of these things are critical in order for people to survive. Also, consider they moved next to rivers. People kind of be able to establish one constant source of water, flowing water, important. You can also use it for fishing. Also, feed your plants. You need those. Living next to water also allows you to travel and share ideas, or cultural diffusion, our big global studies term that we always come across. Sharing of ideas and mixing of cultures and blending of cultures. Alright, so as a result of the impact of agriculture, permanent settlements appeared. People now lived in villages, and eventually villages become cities. Again, near water. We need to remember that. New social classes. When resources were scarce, groups went to war. Chiefs and headmen emerged. Some men gained prestige as warriors and had great power, so the social classes has its foundations in just settling in one area. That's a no-brainer. And of course, new technology that we talked about earlier, tools and skills could be used to meet basic needs, such as calendars and plows. New technology included the wheel, metal weapons, and metal tools, again later on for other civilizations that we'll look at. But the new technology also goes into social classes, artists and artisans, people who specialized in work. And then there were those at the bottom who had the grunt work, our slaves, but we'll get there.